Welcome back my YouTube channel. The year 1982 holds an important place in US coinage history, and one of the standout coins from that year is the quarter dollar. The American quarter, often called the Washington quarter, is one of the most recognized coins in circulation. In 1982, this coin continued to carry the proud image of liberty, represented by George Washington on the obverse, and the eagle on the reverse. Collectors today often look at this coin with great interest because of its unique place in history, its variations, and the story it tells about the U.S. Mint during that era. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design by John Flanagan replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a standard part of American coinage. By 1982, the design had already been in use for 50 years, but there were still changes and challenges that made the 1982 quarter stand out. On the obverse side of the 1982 quarter, we see the familiar bust of George Washington, facing left. Above his head is the word Liberty, a symbol of the nation's identity and values. Just beneath Washington's chin is the national motto, "In God We Trust." At the bottom, the date 1982 is clearly marked, giving collectors a direct link to this period in American history. On the reverse, we find the heraldic eagle, an enduring emblem of American strength and freedom. The eagle is perched with wings spread, clutching arrows in its talons. Above the eagle are the words, "United States of America," and just beneath it appears the national motto, "E pluribus unum," which means, out of many, one. At the bottom, the denomination is clearly written, quarter dollar. What makes the 1982 quarter especially notable for collectors is that it was one of the years when the U.S. Mint stopped producing proof sets and uncirculated mint sets for general release. This decision means that no special mint sets of quarters were struck in 1982, making high-quality examples from circulation much more difficult to find. Collectors who want pristine 1982 quarters often face a real challenge. This rarity in high grades adds value and historical weight to the coin. In terms of composition, the 1982 quarter was struck in copper-nickel clad. Since 1965, the mint had moved away from 90% silver quarters and switched to this copper-nickel blend, which is what you'll find in the 1982 issue. The coin weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, consistent with modern quarters. The edge is reeded, giving it that familiar texture collectors and everyday users recognize by touch. The 1982 quarters were struck at multiple U.S. Mint locations, including Philadelphia and Denver. One interesting detail is that quarters minted in Philadelphia that year did not carry a mint mark. In contrast, Denver quarters were marked with the D mint mark, found just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse. This difference allows collectors to identify the origin of each coin. Collectors often focus on the condition and grading of 1982 quarters. Because no uncirculated mint sets were released, finding coins in mint state condition is much harder. Most 1982 quarters you'll encounter have been through circulation, showing wear and tear. This makes coins that remain in sharp, brilliant, uncirculated condition significantly more valuable. For example, a 1982 D quarter in high mint state, graded MS65 or above, can fetch impressive prices at auctions compared to its face value. Another factor that adds intrigue is the presence of die varieties and errors. Like many coins struck in large quantities, the 1982 quarter is known to have some errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, and weak strikes. Collectors who come across these unusual varieties often find that they can be worth much more than a regular 1982 quarter. Error coins have always fascinated numismatists because they combine rarity with a glimpse into the minting process. Historically, 1982 was a time of economic challenge in the United States. Inflation and recession shaped the financial landscape. Coins like the quarter were used heavily in daily transactions, from vending machines to parking meters, so they saw extensive circulation. Because of this, it is difficult today to locate well-preserved examples of the 1982 quarter. That adds a layer of history to every coin you find. It has likely passed through countless hands over the decades, each with its own story. In the world of collecting, value often comes down to three things: rarity, condition, and demand. The 1982 quarter may not be made of silver, but its scarcity in higher grades has created demand among collectors. While a common circulated example may only be worth face value, a high-grade mint state coin or one with a notable error can bring much higher prices. Some collectors are even willing to pay hundreds of dollars for the finest examples. It is also worth noting that the 1982 quarter marks the beginning of an important era for U.S. coinage. Throughout the 1980s, the Mint faced challenges in production and began experimenting with new technologies and processes. Coins from this period serve as a bridge between the older, traditional methods of minting and the more modern approaches that would come later. For anyone who finds a 1982 quarter today, it's a reminder that even the most ordinary-looking coins can have hidden value. Many people overlook these coins in their change, but to collectors, they represent a fascinating piece of history. Whether you're searching coin rolls, digging through old jars, or purchasing from dealers, the 1982 quarter deserves a second look. In summary, the 1982 quarter dollar from the United States of America is far more than just a piece of change. It represents liberty through its design, history through its circulation, and rarity through its absence from mint sets. Collectors treasure these coins for their unique position in U.S. numismatic history. From the proud image of George Washington to the mighty eagle on the reverse, the 1982 quarter captures the spirit of America in the early 1980s. If you happen to come across one of these coins in your collection or in everyday change, take a moment to examine it closely. Look for the mint mark, check the condition, and appreciate the journey it has made over more than 4 decades. Who knows, you might be holding a piece that's worth far more than 25 cents.